We're live. Where are our cones? Let's get our cones. Okay. Hi, guys. This is Saturday, November 11th. November 10th. Sorry about that. This is my boy Mousy, and we're gonna do a live lunging video. We haven't lunged since the last one, so we're going to try something different this time. Last time was the first time in a while that I really lunged him. And I put the cones up that you can see in the background to make sure that we stayed on camera. And he was pretty good at the walk and jog, but when we went to lope, he wanted to kick at him and was a little entertaining. So I'm hoping he's going to be a little bit better this time, but like I said, I haven't lunged him since that video, and that was about probably 4 days ago, I want to say. So we're going to give it a go. I'm going to try something different, and we're going to walk around the outside of the cones first. Quit. And kind of the reason being, the reason this came to me was Chris Irwin, IRWIN, talked about 3 awarenesses. The awareness of yourself. The second one is the awareness of the relationship, and that's between you and your horse. And the third one is environmental awareness, your surroundings. And since we were inside the cones, Mousy was kicking to the outside, kicking to the cones. He's pretty aware of his environment. And I started thinking, well, maybe if I just walk him around, and this might sound silly, but I just have to try it. I'm curious. Just walk him around the cones, because it's part of his environment. Last time he was just on the inside of them. I'm just going to walk him around them and take him up to them so he can see them. And just wonder if would help take away from them being such a big deal when we get up to the canter. So I don't think he did it at the jog. I think it was mostly at just the faster speed. Okay, let's come over to this one. When I mentioned in my last live that I did a little bit ago from a book that I was reading, whenever you're in the middle of a conversation with him, or let's say lunging session, because we were in the middle of a lunging session and he was doing what he was doing, it could have been concerning to him to have the cones on the outside of him. That might sound silly, but for some reason he was just, and I don't think they really bothered him. He was just being a little stinker about it. So I just thought if we went up and just saw them and confronted them, yeah, I was just curious to see if it would change anything. It was just an idea that popped in my mind this morning when I was having my coffee. And also, I want to maybe do a little desensitizing first, possibly. I'm not sure. I can't remember if I ended with that last time. But let's see, is there anybody here? Oh, hi. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up. Yeah. We're going to see if this makes a difference. I'll be really curious. I think it's good to try new things and try things that like pop in your mind, because you never know when something that you think of will make a difference. And I'm kind of a believer that sometimes when things do pop in your mind, we are supposed to listen to them, because it could be a key or a part that you're missing. Well, that's what I've learned with, my competing bodybuilding and my fitness clients, that, things pop in my mind for a reason. And when I listen and I try them, a lot of times they work, sometimes they don't. But even if they don't, it's not a failure. It's like you tried it and you move on, because sometimes you have to try something first in order to get to the next thing that might be the answer or the key that you were looking for. So you might have to try a thing or two first before you get to that place, because it's like a journey. And this is my horse journey and life journey. And it's all about trying different things and seeing what works and seeing what doesn't. So, sorry about that. Okay, let's go back over here. Back, back, back. Well, good boy. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get started. Back. Whoa. Walk. Out. Out more. Good boy. And while I'm walking him around here, I think I'm going to take him real close to the cones on purpose. So maybe if we do that at the slower speeds too, that might help too. Stay out. Walk. And this would be something that, like, if I worked him more consistently, he doesn't necessarily do it all the time. But I'm just curious to see, since we haven't lunged since the last time, if he's going to be better this time or do the same thing again. Stay out. Good boy. So we're kind of making more of like an oval instead of a circle. Stay out. 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 Good boy. Okay, now we're going to just go to our circle and go up to the next gate. Jog. Jog. Walk. I'm going to try that again. Jog. Jog. Come on. Get up there. He's worried about the stick, but he's not listening. So, jog. Good boy. Jog. Stay out. Stay out. Get your head up. He's kind of lazy sometimes, and that's better. Stay out. Walk. Reverse. Good boy. Jog. Jog. Come on. Trot, trot. Let's go a little faster. I don't know if you can hear his feet. They're not like doing a true 2-beat. Walk. That was better. Good boy. Whoa. Whoa. Good boy. He's licking and chewing. So yeah, as I was saying in my video with Chansey, his lunging live a couple days ago, when I lunge them, I watch their legs for the diagonals of the jog for a 2-beat, and Chansey tends to get lazy. He does too sometimes, but Chansey maybe a little bit more so. But I'm watching his legs, I'm listening, and just feeling what he's doing. So I tried to speed him up just a little bit and like make him lift up his head a little bit more so he was going more true and correct. And when we ended, I felt like he was going more correct and better. So actually, yeah, let's come up here and see, is anybody here? So he seems like he's being pretty good so far at the walk and jog and not really paying attention to the cones. So I'm going to jog him a little bit more, and I'm just really curious to see how he's going to do at the lope with the cones. So if you guys that are on here now saw that from the other day, he was pretty entertaining. So curious to see what he's going to do now. So today. Yeah, so if that video of Chansey was 2 days ago, then Mousie's video was probably about 4 days ago. It's been 4 days since we lunged, so. Let's go this way. Whoa. Quit. Back. 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 Whoa. Good boy. Whoa. Good boy. Walk. Out. Stay out more. Out. Hey. Walk. Jog. No. Hey. Whoa. Okay, I'm going to start getting on him a little bit about cutting in like that. And this might rattle him a little bit, but he's just being lazy and mopey and just Yeah, so I haven't really worked with him on this since the other day when I lunged him was really the first time that I've lunged him good in a long time. So yeah. So just in the beginning when you saw he was a little worried about the stick. That's why, you know, when I was doing it, he turned and faced me. So back up. So I'm probably going to have to flick him on his shoulder just a little bit, and he's probably not going to like it. And he might overreact. Back. Because he's like wanting to like come in my space. Walk. And he might go backwards too. Walk. Out. Whoa. Back. Whoa. Walk. Good boy. That's better. Stay out. Now, if I would have done that the other day when I lunged him, he would have reacted a little bit more, but he took that really well. Jog. Come on. See, he's like worried about it. Get around there. Jog. He's being a little bullhead. Whoa. Walk. Jog. 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 Come on. Hey. Walk. Reverse. Good boy. Stay out. So on that last one, when he wasn't wanting to go this way, and then I think he was cutting in a little bit, I made him whoa, and then we went the other way and just changed directions, and that kind of like moved away from our stuckness. We were kind of stuck. He was being a little bullhead, so sometimes if you just change directions or just, yeah, approach from a different angle or different way. So we just went the opposite direction. Jog. Come on. Good boy. See, he almost did it again. So we're going to have to work on that. And it might have helped for me to desensitize him first with the stick. Stay out. See, he's not like, he's being lazy. Out. Whoa. Walk. Out. Jog. Good boy. Walk. That was better. I don't know if you could hear his feet hit the ground. It was like a true two beat. And if you like watched his legs, he wasn't being as lazy. And the last time, like before I stopped him and started him, just that last time, whoa. I got to stop and talk because See how he's coming in. I made him whoa, get his butt, and like made him move away. He was like, he wasn't jogging true. He was being lazy. He was kind of sticking his rib cage in towards me, and it was making him. He wasn't jogging true. He wasn't correct because he was sticking his rib cage into the center, and he wasn't wanting to move it out. So when I woed him, oh, hi Susan. Yeah. So when I made him whoa and start again and get that shoulder moved away from me, and we started again, then he was kind of more tipped in and on the correct arc, and so he jogged better. So then I tried to catch him when he was doing good and stopped him just to let him know that that was better. And yeah, I think we're ready to go up into the canter now. I'm curious to see. I might jog him just a little bit more and then go up into the canter, see how he does with his cones. But he's being good. Yeah, I haven't really worked on making him move into the jog faster, you know, because that requires tapping his butt a little bit with the stick. And that'll be something we'll do, yeah, maybe next time or so. When he wants to, he listens well. So, okay, let's go back. Quit. Back. 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 Whoa. Whoa. He's licking and chewing. That's always a sign. That means he's being submissive for right this minute anyway. Right this moment. Okay. Back. Back. Whoa. Good boy. Good boy. Walk. Walk. Okay, I'm going to grab the rope a little bit tighter because walk. Okay. Stay out. See how pokey he's being. Might be hard to get him into the canter today. Jog. 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 Sorry, I had to do that this time. I'm going to try to walk with him just a little bit. Stay out. Out. Normally I would do this around the pasture, like a bigger circle. It helps me to get my energy up and him to get his energy up some. Stay out. Out. Walk. Good boy. Okay, we're going to try the lope. Canter. Canter. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Almost. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Keep going. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Walk. Walk. Well, now that was hard. Whoa. He's licking and chewing. Whoa. Good boy. Okay. I'm happy with that. I took him close to the cones too, and he didn't kick at them. He was a good boy. It was just hard to keep him up into the canner. Caught me out of breath. So we're going to go ahead and go the other way. But yeah, next time we're going to work on me using this maybe a little bit on his butt. I don't want to do it right now because he might react. He might go that way towards the camera and mess that up, or go off screen. I don't want to go off screen, but that was pretty good. So yeah, that would be one of the next things that I would work on him with, is just making him pick up his jog and his canner a little bit better, and a little faster, I guess I should say, because he was being a little bullhead and resisting. That's why I did have to spank him that one time, because he was just really taking advantage. But we're going to start working on that more. Walk. And yeah, going to the other side, you saw how he resists it a little bit more, or is a little more worried about the me swinging the stick and string. Stay out. Canter. Canter. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good. Come on. Keep it up. Good boy. Ah. Come on. Come on. He's wanting it. Come on. Good boy. Come on. Good boy. Good boy. Walk. Okay. Whew. Hey. Whoa. Okay, we're going to work on this just for a second here. Whoa. 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 Good boy. Whew. Okay. Let's come back over here. We still got somebody watching. Well, he didn't do it, but a couple times he was wanting to pop his butt. There. Oh, thank you. Yeah, he was wanting to pop his butt. on this one over here. Couple little times he almost did. He didn't kick out, but yeah, he resisted and held himself back, which I'm very happy with that. It was a little bit easier to keep him into the canter. He wasn't wanting to. He was just going more correct this way. The other way he was being a little bit lazy. That was the same way he was jogging and wanting to kind of push that rib cage into the inside. So it's the same with the loping too. When he was loping to the right, I think that was why it was so hard to keep him into it. He was just not on the correct arc, and he wasn't going correct and collected. He was falling apart, and I was having to push him up into it. And yeah, I think that's why it was so hard. I was pushing him, and this way I didn't have to push him as much. He was better. I didn't have to. He was more on the correct arc. So that might be his better side. The left side might be better than the right side for him. I'm not sure. Because with Chansey, I have to do that to the left for him when he lopes, and his going to the right is his better lead. It's more collected. It's easier for him. He doesn't pull down on me, on my hands and stuff as much. He can hold himself up better that way. To the left, he pulls on me more so, and when I'm riding, and then when I'm lunging, I'm constantly trying to keep his nose tipped into the inside because he wants to turn it that way, which puts him on the wrong arc. And so from this session, I would say he's the opposite, just from what I felt this time. And it could just be him being a little stinker too. But anyway, I was just like happy with him being better with the cones. And like I said, I haven't lunged him since the last time. So I'm like wondering if just walking him around the outside of the cones in the beginning of the session, quit, and letting him walk up to him and kind of touch him and stuff, I'm wondering if that like made a difference. Kind of makes you wonder now. So, I mean, I would kind of tend to think so, because just he's not going to, not lunging in 4 days, like since the last time, I don't think he's going to like not do it this time. So I don't know. I'd be curious. But I'm just glad that I tried it. Like I said, it was something that popped in my mind, and I thought, well, yeah, that makes sense. You know, maybe if I let him see his environment first, because I didn't show the cones to him last time. We just walked in the center, and I asked him, you know, said we're going to stay in between the cones. And it could have just been like, it could have worried him a little bit. So, and like I said, he is one that, he is more aware, I think, in his, he has more awareness of his environment. So that's why that popped in my mind. So yay, I'm happy with that. And yeah, I feel like we did better than last time. And I think that's that's what it's about, is just being better than last time and learning something each time. And I feel like we learned. Well, I hope he did. I think he did. I did. Learn something new, you know, just like walk. And you know, you do that, like when, you know, you take a horse a new place, or you get a new horse. You know, like if I were to bring a new horse in here, I would, and say I was going to turn it loose in the pasture here, I would take it around and walk the perimeter of the property and show the horse the environment, you know. So you introduce them to the outside. Yes, it does. It just takes time. And I don't mind, you know, it's like the way that I do things, it might take longer. What is your horse like? You know, it's like, it's funny to see how they're all different. You know, their personalities are different. The way that you do things with them sometimes are a little bit different than you might do it with, you know, one of the others and stuff like that. I think it's interesting. And the way that I do things might take a little bit longer, but she's very stubborn. Yeah. Chancey can be stubborn sometimes, but I'm finding it's like usually in the way that I ask him and if I'm breathing or not when I'm asking him, because sometimes if I am like holding my breath asking him because I'm like trying to like, make him do something like, and you hold your breath too much. Like I remember when I was trying to get him to lope off faster, when I put my foot on him, my cue leg to cue him, I was kind of holding my breath. And then he would resist and was stubborn. He'd throw his head up in the air. And I'm like, why is he doing this? Then I finally like realized that I was holding my breath and just I was not pushing too hard, but I was trying too hard. Where he did better if I just, instead of moving my foot back, instead of moving it back and cueing him, he did better if I just turned my heel in and didn't move any of the other parts of my body and just asked him that way. Plus, I worked with him on the lunge line, asking him and making him pick up like quicker. And if he didn't, I'd stop him and we'd try it again. Plus, I did that on his back too, rather than trying to push him into it and then correct them as they get going. If they don't take off correctly, then their lope's not going to be good after that either. And I would, if he would start to take like a couple trot steps into it, I'd stop him, back him, pivot him, take off either the opposite direction or pivot him all the way around and take off again. And that's harder for horses. Horses don't like to work that much. So if they have to back up and pivot, they learn real quick that it's like, oh, it's easier for me to just lope off. And so all those things combined helped him to lope off better. And again, me just realizing that I was holding my breath. Oh, and another thing that I read in another book that one of my friends gave me was, when I was reaching my leg back to cue him, I was flexing my glute muscle. And that was confusing him because, that when you flex your glutes and like tuck your hips, that's kind of like a stop. And also, so is the holding the breath. When I ask him to stop, I do it with my seat. I tuck my hips and I just blow out my air. And just, and he feels that plus my seat. And that's kind of what I was doing when I was asking him to lope, was when I was reaching back, my hamstring and glute was flexing. And then I was holding my breath. And it was actually, he wasn't really being stubborn. It appeared like he was being stubborn, but I was actually my glasses are fogging up. I was actually really kind of sending the message to him to, whoa, and not going anyplace. So he was really being confused and wasn't really being stubborn, although I thought he was being stubborn. So when I learned to, instead of reaching back, when I learned to just turn my heel in, so my hamstring and glute didn't flex and I wasn't holding my breath, and then would ask him, he started getting it. He started wanting to go into it. And then the trot steps back up. The trot steps into it. Then, like I said, we would stop. I would say, no, back, pivot him around. And it's like you pivot, you pivot. If you're going to take the left lead, you use your right leg as the cue leg. You would use your left leg to pivot them around. So you go the opposite direction, come this way, kind of get them set up so they're ready to kind of like take that left lead. And he learned real quick after just a couple times or so of doing that, rather than him just going into it. So, it's not a punishment, it's just a correction. And there's different things that you can do too. I've tried some different things with him, but that's the one I usually always go to because that's the easiest one for me to remember. But yeah, he learned. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, it's And it was, that was different than what I did with my appy. So, sometimes it's just like a little puzzle, and, it's like the things that you do for one horse might not be the same and might not work. And it's like, okay, what's going on here? And just because I'm a fitness trainer and have worked with my clients and stuff, I get in touch with my breath. I think I connect with them through my breath. So I'm like really aware of my breath and what my breath is doing and what I'm feeling in my body, because I can feel them. So when my horse is doing something like that, I try to like go back and see, how was I breathing? What was I doing? What was my body doing? And I never thought to think that it might be my glute flexing. It's like in bodybuilding and when you're competing, you learn to flex your whole body at the same time. So when you're doing like a front double bicep, everything's flexed. Your quads, your core, your shoulders, chest, arms. So it's actually the opposite when it comes to riding. You have to learn to like separate all your body parts. So, especially separate your lower body from your upper body. That took me a while to get. And I heard Dana Hokana say that one time, and it's like, oh, that, let me think about that for a little bit. And I think she even said in one of her videos, she was working with a person that rode English. And I think she says your upper body and lower body are maybe more connected English, but Western pleasure, you have to separate the two. And that makes sense because I'm getting better at riding chancy. I think the lope is the hardest to be able to do that, because you're using your seat and you're flowing with them with your seat, but you're using your hands to make them break at the withers and drive their back end up underneath them, but stay collected and true. So you're doing all these things at once. You're multitasking. And that's something I've never been good at, is multitasking. But I'm learning. And the lope is the hardest one to learn how to do that. So if you're riding separate hands, your legs are doing one thing and then your hands are doing another. And, it's a lot easier to do at the walk and the jog, but moving up to the lope, yeah, it's like, that's been hard for me, but I've gotten better at it. But anyway, the sun's going down and he's kind of getting antsy. He was actually better this time standing here than he was last time. I don't know if you guys that are on here saw the last one, but yeah, he had a hole dug right here. And yeah, he's been pretty good up until just like about now. He's like wanting to like chew on me and the lead rope and stuff. So yeah, he was a much better boy today. I'm very happy with this session. So yay. Thank you guys for watching. And sun's going down, it's getting chilly, and it's time to feed. So yes, he wants my attention. Yeah, he knows my attention is like here, and he's like, okay, I've been a good boy as long as I can. I need somebody to like give me some attention now. Doesn't he look pretty in his pink halter? We match. And I had to change my sticks today and my string. This had a different string on it, but I changed so we all match. We have kind of like brown, black, and pink on today. I like to match when I work with my horses. Is anybody else like that? Whether it's like my training stick. Thank you, Susan. Thank you for watching and being here. But yeah, I have to match my training stick and my halters and lead ropes, and then when I ride, the saddle blankets. I like to match. My sunglasses, I try to get my sunglasses to match too. So anyway, okay, we're gonna go. And I just remembered I didn't get green today, and the feed store might be closed. or getting close anyway. So I better hurry up and go and back up. And yeah, I might be back tomorrow for another live. So hope you guys have a great night. Bye bye.